Mario Party Superstars is a game I have put over 500 hours in over the past 4 years and is one of my favorite games in the franchise. So today, let's grade all 5 of the maps on an A to F scale. I'm taking into account overall map flow, which includes the main aspects of the board, so board-specific events, items found on the board, and any other map gimmicks that might change the game. I also took into account how well balanced the boards do with luck, and how does it use luck, and does it use luck properly. Luck should be used in any Mario Party board, but does it implement it well so your decisions aren't taken away because of luck. Lastly, I took into account how much the board sticks out. This is the smallest factor I used when grading, but it should be used since this is a massive series with a large amount of boards, so sticking out amongst the crowd is pretty important in my mind. Also, this is my opinion, so don't get mad if I rate one of your favorite boards lower than another board. Alright, with all that being said, let's get into the video. Real quick before the video starts, be sure to drop a like if you enjoyed the video, as well as subscribing if you enjoyed the video as well. We're on the road to 3,000 subs and any sub helps. Thank you so much. First up, we have Yoshi's Tropical Island, and yes, I am giving this board an A+, the best possible grade. Yoshi's Tropical Island is the perfect Mario Party board in my opinion. It has to do with the balance of luck and skill this board uses, as well as just being chaotic fun. That's kind of the best way I could put it. The main gimmick with this board is the swapping of the stars from different sides of the board that is only triggered by the happening space. It will swap between Bowser, who takes coins, usually like 8 to 10 coins. Sometimes it could be 20 coins, but you also get a cursed dice block out of it as well. And then you have Toadette, which is the normal 20 coins for a star. This is the only gimmick on the board, but man, it works so well for the board. You can strategize enough so you can plan around these switches and use items like warp blocks or custom dice blocks to avoid losing money to Bowser by landing on the happening spaces, or just trying to mess with your opponents and swap to the other side of the board. I love that strategy. You could also stick to one side for Boo, or the other side for the item shop, which creates more strategies. Do you farm Boo? Do you keep stealing coins and stars eventually, or do you keep getting items? Do you get double dice? Do you get cursed dice blocks? Kind of mess with the opponents. There's a lot of different ideas and strats you can do on this board. This board is the definition of losing friendships when playing Mario Party. There's Boo, switching the star space, there's warp blocks, and chance time all blend together so well to make a chaotic board, and playing this with a full group of friends will be one of the best multiplayer game experiences you will ever have. I am not lying. This board is also pretty small and easy to understand, making it great for a starter board. So if you have a buddy who doesn't know Mario Party too much, show them this board. This is pretty easy to understand, and I think it's very easy to grasp. It's the perfect representation of Mario Party. It sticks out in my mind for this reason, so I give this board an easy A+. This may not be the most fair board out there, but the fun you can have trumps that idea of being fair more than anything else. Plus, you're playing Mario Party. Don't argue about it being fair. This game is not fair at all. I think that this board is heavily underrated and I probably would put it as the best board in this game. Spoilers, but I absolutely love this board. It gets an easy A+ for me. Next up on the board, we have Spaceland. Spaceland is a perfectly average board in my mind. It's a very large board with a few gimmicks, but ultimately has some bad pacing issues due to the overall size of the board. The main gimmick is a big laser that goes diagonally. It goes to the top right to the bottom left of the board, that if you get caught in the middle of that laser, you lose all of your coins. It's a kind of a big gimmick and kind of crazy that you use all of your coins, but hey, it's kind of unique and also makes you really avoid it. The other gimmick is these policemen Shy Guys that can be set as traps to move you back a decent bit of spaces. I think this board can be fun, but it heavily depends on your dice rolls. If you keep rolling low and get unlucky on your doubles or triples, then this map will be really annoying. I don't think it's purely based on luck, but it's more than Yoshi's Island for sure. You can't really strategize around it. It's just get good rolls and you will get the star. Yoshi's Island had ways you can get around that. You could use warp blocks, custom dice blocks, and just, mess with your opponents, use Boo to get back into the game. You can kind of do that here, but it's kind of hard to do. The skeleton key doors, are nice to cut through the map and to get in or out of the middle faster, so routing on this map can be fun. I also think the map doesn't really stick out a ton. The music's great, and it can be awfully boring in some cases though. Comparing it to Yoshi's Island, like I said, there's just not enough here to justify this large of a map. It has one more gimmick than Yoshi's Island, but double the spaces, maybe even more than double the spaces. It's a big map, probably the biggest map in this game. Item play on this board is just gold pipe spamming at the end and then triple dice spamming in the beginning, so it's not super creative. Overall, this board is carried by the great mechanics of Mario Party Superstars. And just to be kind of negative here for a minute, it makes me wonder why they didn't bring back Western Land or Chilly Waters instead of this board. I know Western Land's in Jamboree, but this came out first. Those two maps, Western Land and Chilly Waters, would have been perfect for like the other intro board, just to kind of get the company and the new players adjusted to this game. But I don't know, it's not a bad board, just super mediocre. I'm gonna give it a C grade. I play it, I like it, I enjoy it. If I'm in the mood for Mario Party, I will obviously enjoy this board, but I don't think it's like the strongest. And I think Yoshi's and another board later on, another 2 boards later on that we'll talk about, are much better in this overall package of superstars. But a C grade, it seems fair to me. Onto the third board, we have Peach's Birthday Cake. This is a very frustrating board. I'm just going to come out and say it. And it's a board that is really reliant on dice rolls. Peach's Birthday Cake is an old map, but it can really show its age with its mechanics and overall flow of gameplay. The main idea of this board is that you're traveling on a linear path that doesn't really split off, which takes away any decision making from the player. From this, there is a main gimmick of the Bowser Siege, which at its earliest will give you a 1 in 4 chance to go to Bowser, who kind of splits off from the main path and can take away coins from you and then spits you out back to the star path. You're basically right next to the star after you go see Bowser. I hate this gimmick. I think it could be funny to see a friend go to Bowser, but it doesn't really feel rewarding. And on top of that, it can actually be beneficial to go to Bowser if someone has a lot of coins. They can just get spit out right next to the star after losing 20 to 30 coins and then just go buy another star again. The other gimmick is pretty harmless and I do like it, but this main Bowser Seed gimmick is just terrible. The other gimmick is there are many piranha plants that are placed around the board where you can spawn them in to either take coins or stars. If a player lands on them, they will lose those coins or stars. You pay like 5 coins to plant a piranha plant that does coins, and then I think 30 for a star. It's a solid gimmick, so I really have nothing to complain about. It replaces Boo, so it does its job fine enough. But the seed gimmick throws off this board heavily. It messes with the pacing of this board as well as makes stars feel unearned. Now, of course, Yoshi's Island has some luck ideas, and I would be a hypocrite if I didn't criticize those. But I think you can kind of work around those luck-based elements in Yoshi's Island. You can't really work around that in Peach's Birthday Cake. You really have the warp block, and that's really it. And there's other things like happening spaces and custom dice blocks on Yoshi's Island. You don't have those on Peach's Birthday Cake. In this board, you can use a warp block, like I said, but it's just struggling, and you're going to be struggling a lot if you get bad rolls and bad luck. Maybe it's something with me and my friends, but I always have a bad time on this board and find it to be the worst board in the game due to the goofy board gimmick. I'll give it a D+, as I like the plate gimmick. It is pretty solid, pretty rewarding, and nice, but other than that, it's iconic, I guess. But like the seed gimmick really ruins it for me, so I think a D+ is fair. On to the final 2, we have Woody Woods, and Woody Woods is an overall solid board with a good couple of gimmicks that make going back to it always a good time, but it's always not my first option to play. The main gimmick with Woody Woods is the switching of pathways during the board by these Motzi moles. So instead of choosing your path, the game will force you down a path depending on what the Motzi moles have. It's based off of these signs, red and blue. It's pretty basic and self-explanatory. This would be an issue, but there are ways to get around this by swapping with a warp block, using the path past that loop, and using happening spaces to switch it on your own, I guess. And you can use custom dice blocks to land on those, of course. It's the anti-Peach's Birthday Cake because you have ways to get around the luck the game has and implement into the board itself. On top of that, you have a secret item shop bottom left corner that sells special items like hidden block cards and also plunder chests, so it spices up the gameplay a little bit. And then you have the 2 trees, I guess the woodies, I guess, that will either give or take coins or move you forward or back spaces. It all depends on the type of tree you visit. There is the negative tree up in the top left, and then you have the regular tree, Woody, I guess. I don't know what his name is. Kind of in the middle path. So there's a lot going on this board, but it's super well balanced, and I think it does a good job of that. The switching path gimmick can be a little annoying, but it's not game breaking, and golden pipe spam is pretty bad in the second half of this board, so those are my main complaints with this board overall. Other than golden pipes being kind of annoying, the other items have a very solid role on this board. And this board does stick out pretty well amongst the series. This gimmick was also used in Luigi's Engine Room in Mario Party 1, but I think it's much better in this board. I think a B grade is very fair. I think Woody Woods is a good board with a couple of things that are annoying about it, but it doesn't ruin it, and it's always still a pretty good time. So a B is a good grade for it. Last but not least, we have Horrorland, which is the fan favorite board of this game, and it definitely deserves that praise. This is a very complex board that is highlighted by the day and night mechanic in this board. Basically, certain events and paths will only happen or appear during the day or night cycle. So if it's day, there's a day boo that will spawn in the bottom left, but if it's night, then some of the pathways block. Kind of things like that, and it cycles between happening spaces, and every 2 turns it'll switch. One of the highlights of this mechanic is the big boo in the top left corner or the top right corner, is a game changer. You need 150 coins, the time of the day to be night, and a skeleton key. But if you do that, you steal a star from all players and get 3 stars. It's a super busted mechanic, but it's my favorite single mechanic in any Mario Party game. And it's so risky to go for, but it's so worth it. I have plenty of times when I'm playing with my buddies and I'm in last or I'm in third and I got to go for the Hail Mary to get the King Boo to get the 3 stars for me. It's so cool, and it's one of my favorite gimmicks or mechanics in any Mario Party game, like I said. A couple of notes is that there's no gold pipe in the shop in this map, and there's a fast travel system which helps with the pacing. Both of these are huge, and it makes me love replaying this board a lot. This board is super iconic too, probably the most iconic from Mario Party 2. I think overall Horrorland gets an A+. This is a board that is a go-to on this game. It can be a bit much for newcomers, but it's paced super well. And despite the size of the board, it's the opposite of Spaceland in my opinion. I love this board. I think everybody loves this board. Probably one of the greatest boards in Mario Party history. Any game on Horrorland is always a good time, and this board continues to be one of the best in the franchise. It's kind of crazy that they decided to bring this one back, but not like some of the other better ones from Mario Party 2. They did Spaceland instead, but hey, that's not Horrorland's fault. I absolutely love this board. It gets another A+. Well, that's my grades for the Mario Party Superstars boards. This is a game I love a lot, and I have a lot of time and a lot of memories, and I think I can judge these boards pretty well. And giving these grades wasn't easy. I think all these boards bring something to the table, even Peach's birthday cake with the Piranha Plant gimmick. But of course, this is just my opinion at the end of the day. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you like my takes? Do you hate my takes? Do you have your own takes you want to drop in the comments below? Anything, I want to hear it all. I love the discussion around this game. If you enjoyed this video though, be sure to sub to the channel. We're a growing channel. Any sub helps, and drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks guys.